The word Thailand literally means land of the free. And that's what Thailand is for me. Freedom. I feel so much more freedom living here in Thailand than I ever did living in Australia. G'day good people, SABAI, Dave here. Thanks for clicking on my video. Before I start the video, I just want to make it perfectly clear that I'm not hating on Australia. Australia is a beautiful country. The people are absolutely awesome. But like I've said many times before, Australia just is not the same place that I grew up in. Okay, that's out of the way. Now let's get on with the video, shall we? So, why do I feel so much more freedom living here in Thailand than I did in Australia? Well, the first reason is an obvious reason. It's because I'm retired. I don't have to work anymore. I retired early here in Thailand, and I've finally broken free of the endless 9-to-5 grind. That's an obvious big reason, but there is a fair bit more to it than just that. And in this video, I'll try to explain some of the reasons of why I feel so much more freedom here than I did in Australia. Another obvious reason is the cost of living in Thailand is so much less than it is in Australia, and that gives me the freedom to do more than I could afford to do in Australia. And another reason is Thailand isn't an over-legislated nanny state like Australia's become. The laws here they're more flexible in Thailand. For example, the road rules here are just mere suggestions. I know I've said it in lots of other videos before, but it's true. I'm not in constant fear of copping a ridiculous so-called traffic offence. I'm not constantly taking my eyes off the road to look down at my speedo just in case I'm a couple of kilometres over the speed limit. And I'm not constantly looking over my shoulders for cops because there just aren't any here, except for in the tourist areas like Pattaya, Patong and what have you. Because there's so many tourists that they hire scooters, they don't wear helmets, and they think they're Valentino Rossi riding around like just absolute clowns. Pretty much on a weekly basis you always hear of tourists like really badly hurting themselves or dying on scooters because they're riding like idiots and they're not wearing helmets. And those places are crawling with cops, and for good reason too. And another reason is because I feel safe in Thailand. There's a very low crime rate in Thailand, and violent crime is almost unheard of. I feel safe walking around at night, even here in Bangkok. I feel safe walking around day or night. And that safety, that feeling of safety, just adds to the feeling of freedom that I have here in Thailand. I'm just going to interrupt the video here for a minute. If you enjoy the content that I make and you'd like to support the channel even further, you can either send me a super thanks, you can buy me a coffee, or for just $2.99 Australian, you can become a member of my YouTube channel. Or you can do all three if you like. That'd be really very much appreciated. Alright, let's get back on with the video. And another reason is the people are mostly chilled out and relaxed. It's just, that Mai Pen Rai, SABAI sort of attitude. Don't worry about it, relax sort of thing. And it's just, I don't know, it adds freedom for me. For example, I can be walking down the road holding a camera up and pointing it in my face and waffling on like some sort of weirdo, and people just don't care. they might like have a quick look and then just go back about to their business, what they were doing. Whereas in the West, people just seem nosy and, you know, they're staring at you and that sort of thing, and some people just don't want to be filmed. But here it's just different. Like, people just don't care. As long as you're not, you know, being noisy and disturbing people, and you're not being a nuisance, then they just don't care. And you can just go on about your own business and people just don't care. Earlier in the video I said that the laws here, they're more relaxed, but some laws are not relaxed. Some laws are very firm, like for example the lèse majesty laws. If you say anything negative about the royal family, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble and you're going to do jail time. Or if you leave a really bad review about a hotel or whatever business, you could end up getting sued. You can end up in a lot of trouble if you leave bad reviews. For example, a while back, I wanted to do a review on a budget hotel in Bangkok. The hotel was on Sukhumvit Road. It was right out the front of a BTS station. I can't remember what BTS station it was. But the actual hotel was an absolute dive. Like the room, it had a queen size bed, and there was a foot of room either side of the bed, between the bed and the walls. And at the toe end of the bed, there was 2 feet of room where you could actually put a bag and you stood there and you got dressed and what have you. And also the curtains, you couldn't draw the curtains. So there just wasn't enough curtains on the window. And it's like it was right in front of a BTS like skywalk, and people could literally see into the room. So I thought, no, that's not happening. So I went downstairs and said, fix the curtains please. And they sort of did. They did a bit of a half-assed job on it. But I just, yeah, good enough. It's better than it was, so yeah. But the room was dirty, it was small. It was the worst hotel that I've ever stayed in, period. And I couldn't do a review video on it because I had nothing positive to say about the place. The only thing that place had going for it was its location right out the front of a BTS station. Other than that, it was just a dive. And if I'd have made a YouTube video about it and left a bad review, I could have ended up in deep trouble. I could have got sued. While I do enjoy the freedoms that Thailand has to offer, freedom of speech, however, it's not good. And you do have to be very careful, like leaving bad reviews and that sort of stuff. Freedom of speech leaves a lot to be desired here in Thailand, but nowhere's perfect. Some people say that the visa rules are too complicated and the rules change all the time, and that doesn't give them a sense of freedom. But for me personally, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. It's a small price to pay for the many freedoms that I do enjoy living in Thailand. Some people say that the 90-day reporting and the annual visa extensions just don't feel like freedom to them. And obviously I would prefer not to have to do the 90-day reporting and the yearly visa extensions. But like I said before, for me, it's a small price to pay for the many freedoms that I enjoy living here in Thailand. I don't know how well I've explained the freedom that I feel here in Thailand, but I just feel a calming, relaxed sense of freedom here. I don't know, maybe the hot tropical weather has something to do with it, and it sort of makes you want to slow down and relax more. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Okay guys, that's all I've got for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also, if you want to support the channel more, you can send me a super thanks, you can buy me a coffee, or you can become a member of the channel. That would be very much appreciated. Alright guys, catch you in the next one. Bye for now and peace.